Hello, I'm David Holbrook, Festival Director of Mountain Film in Telluride. Welcome to Minds of Mountain Film. I'm sitting here with Kevin Pearce. What's up, baby?
What's
How
up,
you doing,
baby?
man?
Thank you for having me.
Star of the Crash Reel. Great to have you here. You've been having fun in Telluride, huh?
Gosh, man, what a beautiful town. What a gorgeous thing you guys have set up here. We just got down from a bike ride, amazing films playing, great people. It's just like, Telluride is awesome.
Hey, and you've never ridden here? You've never snowboarded here, right?
No, I never, it's crazy coming here. The fact that I've never been here, I've been missing out. But it's good that I was able to come here and experience it because I'll be back next year.
Exactly, and you got to come in the winter
Exactly.
when we go downhill here. It's and Mountain Film itself as a festival kind of surprised you. You've been to a couple of film festivals. This is a little different, huh?
Yeah, this one's got a little bit of a different vibe. It's great energy. Everyone in the town is super psyched, and it's cool because it's a super small town here in Telluride, so everyone's kind of like on the same page and everyone's all about the same thing, and it's just kind of like, yeah, it's a place where like a lot of good energy and a lot of good vibes, so it's really fun.
So this series is called Minds of Mountain Film. So what we do is we try and bring on people who we think have something big to say, and it's usually people who are working in this field and sort of big brains. And I wanted you on this series because I think you've got something to say about Minds of Mountain Film, and I really think you are one of them. And I look to people who are leading the way, and I think you are. But it's funny because you've also got a mind that's different than anybody else's, from your traumatic brain injury. And so for you, I want to get a sense of how do you, given your situation with traumatic brain injury, what's next for you? What do you do with that now? You can't snowboard the way you wanted to, but you can also still be a leader, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of opportunity for me. And after suffering that injury, it's really kind of changed the game up for me and changed up my whole life and what's going to happen with it. So it's been wild kind of taking this, dramatic change of where it was like I was a professional snowboarder and my life was so set, and now it's like it's taking a whole new path and just kind of figuring it out as we go. And I've been doing some public speaking and trying to share the message and kind of, share the recovery story and let people know that, it is possible to come back. Even if you do bang your head really hard, it can be healed, and your brain, has the ability, to heal itself and to come back and recover. So that's been cool to share that with people. And then, this movie that I'm here showing, The Crash Reel, is amazing, and just trying to, promote the film and get it out there and, allow people to see the story that we're sharing. And that's been super cool to, have that one and come to amazing festivals like this. Has been radical.
So let's talk about the recovery. Your brain does not work the way it did before the injury, right?
Yeah, there are definitely some differences.
And how does that manifest itself? How does that come about?
Yeah, it comes about in all different kinds of ways. And, the coolest thing about the brain is that it can be healed, and, it can, refine those pathways that have, been disconnected, and it, it can come back, and it's been 3.5 years now, and my brain is still healing, and it's still recovering in a huge way. So it's cool that, that it's possible, 3.5 years later, that I'm still getting better. It's like when you do anything else, like you break your arm or your leg or whatever it is, it heals and you're good to go again. It's like your brain, it's broken and it's healing, and it doesn't just heal in a couple months. It takes.
But then there are also things that still remain different. I broke my hand skiing a couple of years ago, and I can still see the screws. I can still see the lack of muscle. Mm-hmm. It works great, but there's things that never quite came back.
Yeah.
Living with that, with your brain, what's that like?
Yeah, I've kind of been learning as I go and figuring it out and finding new ways how to, relearn how to live my life. And it's, it's small things, whether it's this interview and, putting a reminder in my phone so I can remember to get here, whatever it is, reminders, or, just having help from people and support that I never used to need, or, there's so many things that I found as a crutch now to help me really so I can live a successful, happy life.
And is that, from watching the film The Crash Reel, I can see with your family how much of a support that is. And you guys seem to have like a pretty high baseline of happiness, but there must be times that are frustrating as hell.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to be really positive and kind of really upbeat and, kind of been, all good, positive energy through this whole thing. But, when it comes down to it, it's like straight up, it's been hard, and it's been really, difficult at times. And I've gotten to, these really low places where it's just like, why is this happening? Like, just like so, far down. But, I've been able to come back and really kind of take all the good things out of it and just realize how lucky I am. And, it's really kind of been amazing what's come from it, and kind of how I've been able to learn so much and kind of really grown from hitting my head.
Who'd have thought, huh?
Exactly.
You're still involved in the snowboarding world. The pipe that you were hurt in was the same pipe that killed Sarah Burke. Do you have a feeling that they should be made smaller, or people taking too many risks? What's your take on that as a snowboarder?
No, as a snowboarder and as someone that was there, doing it with everybody at the top level, I think that, snowboarding is amazing, and I would never change it. Yes, it did, cause this traumatic brain injury and a total lifestyle change for me, but when I was doing it, it's what I loved, and it's what I wanted. There was nobody pushing me. There was nobody making me do these double corks, the trick that I fell on, or, whatever, the 1080s. It was like I was up there pushing it because I was loving it, and that's what I wanted to do. So I think if it was, if these kids were being made to do it and forced upon them, then maybe you could say, yeah, it needs to be calmed down. But as long as these kids are doing it and it's their choice, and I think that, they should be allowed to do what they want.
It's funny, as a parent, I feel a little differently. And I have, a couple of kids, I have 3 kids, and I sometimes say to other parents, like, and I say to my kids, like, yeah, I'm saying no because part of my job as a parent is to protect you. And, kids do a lot of stupid stuff, and that's what they should be doing, they're kids. But there comes a point when you say, wow, this single half pipe in Park City has taken the life of a brilliant free skier, has hurt the brain of a brilliant snowboarder, and who knows what else. And look, I don't think federal government has to get involved. I just wonder at some point, does the sport create too much? Of course you're going to do it. You're Kevin Pearce, or you're Sean White, or you're Sarah Burke, or you're Gus Kenworth, or you're Keaton McCargo.
Yeah.
All pro athletes that have been around this festival. But at the same point, this is something that's been built, and it's damaged people. And do you feel at some point you just say, whoa, let's make this a little less big, or let's change the nature of this?
Yeah, well, I would never say that because I was so happy and I had so much fun, and it was like the 18-foot half pipes were fun, and then they've changed to 22-foot now, so they're 4 feet bigger, and so I was having even more fun, and it was even more exciting for me. So it was like that level of happiness that I got from it. I think that it wouldn't be fair to take that away from these kids because that's what they want to be doing, and that's what they're having so much fun doing. So
26 foot? Do you? I mean, but seriously, that's I guess what I'm asking, man. That's what I'm trying to understand. And at some point, do the athletes say at some point too, because there's always going to be somebody like, yeah, dude, I'll go do that.
Yeah.
And that's what. And for you, you don't think that there should be those kind of limits?
Well, it's really interesting in action sports because it's still such a young, sport or whatever. All these sports are still so young, and they're just kind of continuing to progress. And it's like, this has never happened before. We've never seen this, and we've never obviously seen 22-foot half pipes. So it's true. It's like, what's next? Is it going to go to 26? Or these kids going to start doing triple corks in the half pipe or quad corks? It's like the sky's the limit in these sports, and that's what's so cool. But then it's like, how far can they be taking where it's still, really safe and, okay to be doing?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know the answer.
I don't know the answer either, but it is there are quite, it's a little like speed limit, yeah. It's fun to drive 85, but at some point, and I just don't know where you draw the line, especially, and I think that's a really good point you made, is these sports are so young, but sports that are so old, like football, now we're seeing the damage of the sport that's been going on a long time, and it seems to me that snowboarding and other action sports, extreme sports, have an opportunity to do things differently than the NFL. I mean, the NFL has a class action suit against it by former players, Super Bowl quarterbacks.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Not good. You don't need that in snowboarding.
No, you don't, and especially with these young bodies and these young brains.
Yeah.
So for yourself, you want to be in the outdoors and you want to be getting the message out about keeping your brain healthy, right?
Yeah, just kind of getting the message out of, how to be smart and how to do things the right way, whether it's protecting your brain or protecting your body, whatever it is, just kind of so you can go out there and have fun, have as much fun as possible, but make sure you're having all that fun in the right way and, doing it safely.
And was that your message yesterday? You spoke at the Telluride. We showed the film, and you showed it at the Telluride school. And we show films, and we get some kids there, a couple hundred kids. I heard it was 600 kids, full on. Tell me about it.
Yeah, yesterday, was the most amazing screening we've had by far. It blew all the other ones away. We've been to South by Southwest,
Berlin.
Sundance, Berlin. The films have been all over the place, and I've been to a bunch of these screenings and kind of experienced a lot of things. And yesterday, I was told we were going to go do this screening at the high school, and I was like, oh, cool, we'll go hang out with some kids, yeah, whatever. And I didn't realize the impact it was going to have on these 600 kids, and it kind of really just blew them away. And it was really special kind of to be able to be there with my brother Adam and, to be able to share the message. And, he really helped kind of sharing, how there's so many different things in this film that came into play, and he was really kind of able to, let all these kids relate to us and everything that's happened.
I heard one of the first question was from a kid who said, like a pretty young kid. Do you remember the question?
No.
He said, from what I was told, he said, hey, Kevin, I just want to know, before the accident, you were my favorite snowboarder. And he goes, and now you still are, man.
Yeah.
I love too. Last night when we screened it, I love seeing these kids around you, and I felt when we first met back in San Francisco, that you have a great story to tell. You have a tremendous amount of charisma, and people are going to be drawn to this. And yeah, man, it'd be awesome if you were still competing, but what you're doing now has the potential to be a lot more awesome. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I totally feel that. And it's almost like I totally believe that things happen for a reason. And I totally believe that, I experienced this and I went through this injury and I was able to come back and recover from it. And now I'm going to be able to do more bigger, important things for the rest of my life, and really things that, can matter and make a big change.
And come back here in the winter.
Dude, come back here. I was just walking down the street with Adam. We got back from this bike ride and I'm walking down and I look over and I hear these kids and they go, dude, that's Kevin Pearce. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, baby.
The town is tight. Everyone's tight knit, and it's awesome. I'm coming back for sure.
Well, we'll have you back this winter. We'll definitely get you back to Telluride. Hey, Kevin Pearce, Minds of Mountain Film. Great to have you here, man. The movie's The Crash Reel. Hope you and your brother have a terrific rest of your time here in Telluride, and we know we'll be seeing you.
Thank you.
Right on. Thanks, baby.